LA rioting continues as a third day of civil unrest of looting continues in Los Angeles. This is an update for Monday, June 1st. Hope you are safe and good. And this is LALATE. As always, like and subscribe to this channel and drop your comments below and we may feature them in tomorrow's recording. And please hit that alarm button on this channel so you hear alarms like this one, which is an alert issued by LA County moments ago. It's a surreal environment in which we're currently taping today, and I wanted to embody all the elements of this. This is LALATE. And if you do not hear it already, there are helicopters over me. There is alarms going on cell phones. This is the current state of environment. Santa Monica was desecrated on Sunday. LALATE had reported on Friday and Saturday pure terror on camera when there was news that looters were heading west. On Saturday, it appeared that their next target would be Beverly Hills, and it was. They desecrated Alexander McQueen and street and shops on Rodeo Drive. For reasons still unclear, members of certain police forces thought it wouldn't happen to them. Certainly naive, but it did. And on Sunday, the next targets were Long Beach, Santa Monica, towns all over Southern California, desecrated, buildings burned down, stores looted, and in some regards, these were solo practitioners. They weren't all Fortune 500 companies. The targets generally were sneaker stores of all places. Adidas, Nike, those type of stores were targeted especially. Big Five. And in some regards, they also targeted high-end retailers like Fendi, running with Birkin bags worth $75,000 down the street. Now, there were those individuals that wanted $10 jeans and were willing to commit a crime for that. But this was organized crime. It was not basic civil unrest. This was organized crime. In a video tweeted on LALATE's Twitter account, it showed an Adidas store on Abercrombie, which is a very posh section of Venice, California. And it showed the Adidas store, which is a new establishment, opened I think only a year and a half ago. And it showed the store being broken into in broad daylight in the recording. What's fascinating about the recording showed the level of sophistication of the crime organization. This is not a bunch of people with bricks throwing things at doors. These are people coming with high-powered instruments, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of instruments to break into doors that, in some cases, including Bloomingdale's department store, have $500,000 security systems. Their operations are very sophisticated. There is a scout. There is a driver. They come in packs, and they do it very quickly and very swiftly. What you see later on is news reporters jumping to the scene where other people have heard that something has been looted, and basically stragglers are jumping in and jumping into the stores and looting. But here we are, Monday, and you're hearing alarms going off on my phone. The alarms, what are those? Santa Monica issued a lockdown, a curfew, for businesses in its downtown at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, middle of the day, 4 p.m. for the rest of the day. LA County followed suit and issued a lockdown for its entire county at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today. Helicopters are overhead as protesters, looters, and moreover are heating up. It's still sunny outside, as you can tell. But let's get to some of your comments about yesterday's video, which focused on the fear of Santa Monica being looted. Sadly enough, buildings were burnt to the ground overnight. 20 comments. Larry Pint, free shopping matters. U.S. society is so fragile, they're looting their own local businesses and feel zero responsibility for their own society. The American reality doesn't look like the American dream. Samantha108, who comments on a daily basis. I agree. Honest protesters and looters are two different sides of the coin. However, Oregon police released protesters coming from the other states hired to agitate and serve as an agenda. This is not the spirit of the protest. Who will protect the small businesses and give space to true protesters to voice their discontent when so many interests and ill actions are taking place? Steph Seymour, Bless y'all. Sending prayers, light, and love. Thank you, Steph. I hope you are safe as well. Tom Allison. No, some business owners who are planning to open are just in tears. So very sad. It is very sad. Here is a little bit of business advice to jump into a riot story, basically. If you are a business owner, please get insurance. Please get insurance right away. And please look at the limits of coverage and the nature of coverage. Not all policies cover theft. Not all policies cover glass damage. Not all policies cover vandalism. Some policies do cover theft, but have qualifiers on it that don't cover certain items. They may not cover computers. They may not cover jewelry. So please understand the limits of your policy. And in some regards, sometimes you can't actually modify it. You have to get an additional policy. What do I mean? Basically, a lot of business insurance policies only cover contents, but don't cover contents for a lot. And then they have a qualifier that says they won't cover this and that and this and that. And they don't cover glass. So you may have to get a separate glass policy. Look at your insurance policy right now. TWA safety. Johnny Finley. The inaction and incompetence of the administration is partly responsible for this type of actions. Not once has his administration issued a statement calling to stop and condemning these actions, but yet he can spend all day on golf courses. Very well said. Very well said. Jeff Hansen. Very well said, LALATE. Behind every one of these businesses is an entrepreneur who poured their life into taking risks and making a viable success. This is truly a life's work. Heartfelt. North American Redskin. We see who the looter thieves are. Shannon Desiree, who comments on a regular basis. I am so sorry that you guys have to go through that. It was very upsetting to see you like that in the other video. Very upsetting. I was very upset. Now the reality has set in. You're hearing again the alerts. I don't have it on speaker on speaker version, but there's a version where it actually starts to shout the alert at you. Very scary. I would be absolutely crushed if something ever happened to you guys. You have been an absolute blessing to us. Please be safe. You guys are on my prayers. I am in you are in my prayers as well, Desiree. They're about to start something here in my state, also from what I've been told. It's also happening in my home state of New York. Please be safe. New York, my heart goes out for you. I saw a video from the Village in New York. I think it was from Chelsea. It was horrific overnight, Sunday night after shutdown. I mean, your local administrators in the cities across the country, whether you're in a rural area or a city area, should be issuing lockdowns. I mean, we've been in stay-at-home orders for 3 months. You can't stay home for 3 more days? Come on now. I don't want to hear you have to get your hair cut at 7 o'clock at night tonight. Stay home. Stay home. I mean, yes, you all have suffered business problems, but we can all stay home for 2 more days to get this settled down. This is not going to go on forever. Wuhan, I wrote a comment, but I was reluctant to send it because it's too damn long. Oh, that's horrible, Wuhan. I would have liked to see your comment. Beauty Babe. First, let me say I do not condone the looting and destruction. As a black small business owner, I am saddened by it by everyone, and I've spoken to is too. Today we had looters pulling up and stealing TVs, sneakers, and clothes from of all races, and they were interviewed by a white woman who claimed she just drove and didn't see the stealing herself. So the commentator said, who said he wanted to separate the races? And the bricks have been dropped off at certain spots to cause destruction. There are people traveling from different states and causing the crowds to turn violent and start looting. Please don't be gullible. Very well said. I don't want news reporters to tell me how crimes are being committed, and I don't think you should, as the viewer, buy into local news reporters who are very uninformed as to how crimes are committed. This whole notion of they're just aggrieved people, they're just stragglers that just happen to have thousands of dollars worth of crime equipment on them at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in broad daylight at a store that has $500,000 of merchandise is bogus. Come off of it. This is organized crime. I'm just tired of local news not getting their facts right and just sort of not understanding the level and sophistication of crime syndicates. There are crime syndicates all around us in every city, whether they are gangs or simply crime syndicates. They don't need to be Ocean's 11, but they also aren't just throwing bricks into glass. They are a little bit more sophisticated than that. And for local news to continually portray looters as people picking up bricks and throwing at glass, hello, the current glass in most commercial businesses is not broken by a brick, and the doors are not opened by throwing a brick. There was one business in Santa Monica that ultimately was destroyed horribly. The video recording of the attempt to break in, which eventually was successful, went on for 15 minutes. They could not get in, even with the most sophisticated instruments. So please don't belittle our viewers, local news, and thinking and telling us it's just petty throwing up bricks into glass. It is not. It's organized crime. Kathy Timmel. Tell all the business owners who was killed to get over it. Sounds like someone who's so clueless in life they need to be right next to the officers who need to be charged with murders. Samantha 108, the actions delays in charging officers is unacceptable in the present situation where it doesn't take much to ignite the population. Justice is severely delayed. AWZ, thank you for differentiating the protesters and looters. I feel like the people who lost their jobs got no UI and for financial relief, mixed with anger and frustration along with the homeless people on the streets, just need an opportunity, and the death of George Floyd probably lit the fire for them. This is not just black people, it's just not white supremacists, it's all crap together. Austin Davis, I'm extremely pro-gun. I think everyone should have a gun and be trained how to defend themselves. That people calling for guns have had to go to guns, taking a life as a last resort. But it's not something that's taken lightly. I'm jumping over some of the comments because it's sort of long. Hopefully they will get out, but California makes it hard and expensive to row a hoe. As in California, I was put in that position. I know in my two choices I'd have to have my life ruined by looters burning my business or having my life ruined by the justice system. I don't think commentators understand the severity of taking a life. Wow. James Edwards, diversity and multiculturalism has never worked in a society long term. I think it's time for separation of races. It's what makes most whites want anyway. Yeah, that was James Edwards' comment. We left it live because we want you to comment on things, and we're not going to censor your comments even if they are ignorant or horrific on this channel. The only time we're going to censor your comments when you talk about my hair. Other than that, there are, I want to encourage commentary, and I want you to encourage your thoughts. But as we go into another night of civil unrest across America, I want you to be safe. I want you to feel at ease in a very tense moment. There is nothing more scary than feeling that someone is breaking into something you own and taking it with them. It's the type of feeling that creates nightmares week after week, thinking that someone is inside of something that you own against your permission and taking something that you have worked your life savings for to have. It is not the situation of a Fortune 500 business. It is the situation of you, a small business owner, who have tried through this pandemic and through this channel to get to the other side, only to find that someone is willing to take it all away from you once again. If you have been impacted by the riots or seen rioting, please comment below, or have any other comments, comment below. Finally, this final note. In today's recordings, you may additionally hear strange sounds like helicopters and alarms and sirens. Please be considerate and understand the situation we are in. As always, stay with LALATE.